Let's go. Greetings, everyone. Old Guy Jammin' here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the FLYTE by EASTWOOD Guitars. EASTWOOD Guitars is a company that makes guitars in China. They have a crazy selection on their website, EASTWOOD Guitars. Some really funky designs. Worth checking out. Reasonably priced. This was about $8. It's definitely a collectible. It's unique. The form and fit on these guitars is really nice. This is a nice deal. Maybe SG could take a little tip from this. Include a button on the neck plate right there. That's nice. Well crafted, like I said, good materials, kerf on the neck for extra strength right there. Fits in your lap really well when you're seated or on a couch because the cord comes out of the front. So you don't have, you're not setting the guitar on the cushion if you sit down, if you choose to sit down like that. But there are some drawbacks. I'm sending this back. I was emailing the guy earlier, and he said, well, yeah, it's all good. You can send it back, but if you don't mind telling me what it is you don't like. So I went ahead and told him. The neck is gloss finish, so it's sticky as heck. Not a big deal, but I would end up having to sand that. The access to the upper frets is limited because there's no cutout here, and they want it to be a symmetrical design, but I have seen V-style guitars with a cutout, and it looks great. So one guy was saying, one of the viewers was saying, it's a t-shirt, and you can see that. It's called FLYTE. There's been reference to the Concorde, Star Trek emblem. But, it's cool, it's unique. It's kind of got an SG vibe because of the cherry stain and the black plastic and the chrome. So it's pretty cool. The headstock is unique. No labels on the headstock, which is also kind of strange. It's just very plain, which, you don't think about. But after a while, you start to notice that all your other headstocks have something written on them, but this one doesn't. So other things though. So access is limited up here. Once you get up, it's really difficult to get up to the 22nd. After, the 18th isn't a big deal. The 20th isn't a big deal. But the 22nd is almost out of reach. But if you're not up there a lot, not a big deal. The action is nice. I didn't adjust the truss rod and the relief is perfect. But access up there high is limited. Nice nut. The cut of the nut is proper. In fact, it's a 0 fret. I just now noticed. That nut runs up over the first fret, or in this case, the 0 fret, and that lends to really good action. Something that's really easy to do, but a lot of guitar makers choose not to do it for some reason. Little extra material behind the first fret, 0 fret, and then you drop your nut in and you just cut it nice and low and let the string ride up over the first fret. So, cool detail. However, sticky neck, poor access to the high frets, the volume knobs and tone knobs are ahead of this pickup. None of my other guitars have the tone knob even close to being even with the pickup. They're all in the back, so except my green Charvel, but it's pretty low. You'll notice, or I notice anyway, as soon as I'm hitting like that, I'm running into that volume knob a lot. So I run into that a lot. That bothers me. There's plenty of room on the plate that I think they could have, you could have the jack come out the back or the bottom or even, I don't know. But there was room to move these down and have the selector switch here and have this come out the bottom of the guitar, even recessed into that pocket maybe. I don't know. But there's room here. They could have put those elsewhere. So that bothered me as well. I'm hitting the knob. The bridge is kind of interesting. The back of the bridge sits up higher than the saddles, which again doesn't happen on my other guitars, but not a deal breaker, but it's something. The saddles themselves are really cool looking. They're kind of a L shape, or a 7 if you prefer, but neat. I really like the saddles. Looks good. They're set up nicely. No issues there. The last issue, the weight's not bad either. The weight's nice and light, and it sits on the strap nicely. There's no dive in either direction. The other thing was the pickups are kind of a PAF, but they tend to accentuate the B. And I don't know if you'll hear that in the room, but you can think of it to some Fender combos that are fall victim to the same sonic issue. Other notes like your A will chunk cleanly. But you get to that B and it just starts to get a little loose and it rings out louder. It's kind of muddy. It really starts to fill the room with kind of an irritating resonance. And I want to EQ my sound right away. So that's an issue. Otherwise, the switching is great. The pickups are balanced. Bridge. Nice and bright, both of them. The neck one. There's that B again, and it's not pleasant. So if I were to keep it, I'd also be swapping out the pickups for something that's a little more, a little tighter, mid-focused. So all in all, I can't keep it. And also, you know, from a recent video I did, that I'm just really done exploring. I love the Wolfgang Standards and this Charvel. There's a couple of things I'm hanging on to, but liquidating everything else, and I'll start, you know, when the EVH Standard throws out a really cool finish, I may add to my arsenal with those, but they're just the best guitar ever. All right, so that's that. It's going back in the box tonight, but check out EASTWOOD Guitars. They have a lot of cool stuff, and it's a nicely made guitar. I'm just not in the mood for anything other than a standard anymore. All right, peace out.